Also developing this afternoon, new concerns about the future of the state attorney's office in Orange and Osceola counties. Democrat Monique Worrell defeated Andrew Bain in Tuesday's election and is set to take back the office she was removed from by the governor. But WESH 2 News has obtained an internal office memo that some believe puts that certainty in doubt. WESH 2 investigative reporter Greg Fox broke this story at noon today, and he's live again at the state attorney's office with an update. Greg.
Well, this email was provided to us by a couple of attorneys who have connections inside the state attorney's office, and they say that the only way to correctly interpret this is to believe that the state attorney's office will remain under the governor's control.
Justice prevails in the light of dishonesty, in the light of cheating.
That's what Monique Worrell told voters after winning the Orange Osceola state attorney's race Tuesday. Governor Ron DeSantis removed Worrell from office in August a year ago, saying she was soft on crime and not doing the job of protecting the community. The governor appointed then-Judge Andrew Bain to be the top prosecutor. He ran as an independent, but was financially backed by the state Republican Party. Now WESH 2 News has obtained a copy of an email sent by Bain's chief assistant state attorney, Ryan Williams, to staff after Worrell's victory. It reads in part, "We have made amazing progress together these last 14 months. We therefore imagine some of you are concerned about losing all that progress. The leaders of this office have no plans to begin looking for work elsewhere. Rather, we are all committed to following and enforcing the law in the same aggressive way we have been."
The governor wants Andrew Bain to remain the state attorney, and he's going to do everything in his power to keep him there.
Thomas Fighter is the Republican state attorney candidate who lost the August primary to Seth Hyman. When Hyman dropped out a week later, Fighter unsuccessfully sued him, the governor, Bain, and others, claiming they intentionally put Hyman in the race as a ghost candidate to help Bain. Fighter believes the new email is a clear indication Worrell's peaceful transition into office is at risk.
There is a lot of concern that now that Monique Worrell was democratically elected, that the governor will just remove her again. I think that's very concerning for people who respect democracy and the rule of law.
The email could mean that in the remaining weeks until Worrell is sworn in, the leadership of the state attorney's office will continue to do their jobs as usual. We just don't know. Bain is not commenting. A spokesperson for Worrell told WESH 2 News any questions regarding Ron DeSantis, the unelected state attorney, or the chief assistant, whom voters rejected in 2020, should be directed to them along with the over 400,000 voters who made their choice abundantly clear at the ballot box. We sent a copy of this email to the governor's office asking them for comment. When we hear back, we will update our report. Live in downtown in Orange County, Greg Fox, WESH 2 News.